Hello and welcome back to the Lincoln Loco 2. Today we have got a massive game against Kidderminster Harriers in terms of context for the title this season, and then we've also got Scarborough coming up as well. Now before we get started, just a quick apology, really, I suppose I've got to say. When I've been editing the previous few episodes, I've noticed that just sometimes in the episode the green screen just sort of pops out and you can see it, sort of thing. Like you can see a bit of a reflection behind me. And it seems to be when I move my arms around and hit the microphone like that, it seems to be when I move my arms around quite a bit that the green screen kind of goes a bit mental sometimes. Has it done it now? Let me double check, because I can't see it until I've edited it. I've only got the one screen on my laptop, no second screen, so I can't have like a picture of me recording myself next to me so I can see what's going on. So sometimes it happens and sometimes the green screen comes in for some reason. I've tried to make some changes to the light just to make sure the lights are a bit brighter, maybe. That might help, I don't know. But hopefully it won't happen again. So sorry for the inconvenience that may have caused some of you in your viewing experience. Now, since you were last here, things have gone really well. We seem to have just completely come out of that downward spiral, and I think I know the answer why. So you were last here then for the Barrow and Hyde United game. We lost both games in that episode, unfortunately, but since then we have gone completely unbeaten in all competitions, which has been a surprise. Now, the reason we've done so well, I think, is as soon as we finished those two games, we played the 4-1-4-1 formation in that, the wingers. Since then, we switched to the 4-4-2 almost exclusively for most of these games, and I think that's why we've won it. The 4-4-2 seems to do it. I don't know why, but the going full Mike Bassett on everything seems to work out quite well. So then, let me talk you through some of these results. We played Nuneaton Borough first up, a 3-2 win there. They came back into it a little bit late on, but it looked like a comfortable win for us all day, so that was really good to see. We then played FC United, who are a team around us in the league who we thought we could lose to, and we did actually go 2-0 down to them, which was frustrating before Mark Mason did inspire us with a hat-trick to make sure we won it 4-2 in the second half, which is really good. That was a fantastic win for us. We then went into the FA Trophy game against Stockport. Stockport, by the way, top of the division above us. They had their man sent off in the 31st minute really early on, and we capitalised on that massively. Spencer Keller scoring 2 goals. And we ended up winning it, which was a massive... We didn't think we'd win it. That's why I didn't show it in an episode. I didn't think we'd win it. So it was a big surprise. We won that against Stockport, went into the 4th round, which was a bit mental as well. After that win, we went back to the 4-1-4-1. And as you can see, we scraped a draw with Alfreton. Alfreton, who at the time were like 20th in the division, much better than us. They should have won it. And I really think because we switched away from the 4-4-2 back to that 4-1-4-1, and it just didn't seem to work out for us, really. So I think it is the formation. Maybe the 4-4-2 just seems to be working really well at the moment. We went back to it, of course, for the Chorley game, winning that 4-2 with Matthew Agu scoring his 3rd in 2 games, which is really good to see. He's found a bit of form recently as well, with Mark Mason also grabbing a few, and Joe Howell actually knocking up a few goals this season as well. Following that, a big game against Telford, a game that we needed to win considering, they're a team around us in the division, and we did. Scott Pollock scored very late on in the game there to make sure we won it after what was a really tight and even game and probably had a draw written all over it. We then faced Wrexham from a division above us in the FA Trophy 4th round. And again, I thought, well, there's no point doing this in an episode. We're not going to win it. Of course, we went on to win it in extra time, beating Wrexham, which means we're now in the semi-finals of the FA Trophy, which has gone unnoticed, really. Because last season we did some FA Trophy games. We got to the 3rd round and got knocked out. We've been to the 3rd round. We've done that. I don't really need to show it again because I didn't think we'd be close to winning it. So I didn't think we'd win that 3rd round against Stockport, so I didn't bother showing it. Again, same sort of thing with the 4th round. Didn't think we'd win it, so there's no point showing it. And it's, we want to focus on the league at the moment. But now that we've won that, somehow, and we're into the semi-finals against Torquay, who are a beatable side, I think I've got to say. They're mid-table in the league above us. We've beaten teams better than them. You know what? I reckon we could go all the way. Anyway, that's going to be for next episode. We will do those Torquay games tomorrow, so look forward to that one, of course. The final game that we played in between episodes was against Guys, with Mason and Spencer Keller picking up the goals. Spencer Keller scoring 5, I think, in between episodes, 4 in the Cup and 1 in the league, which is pretty good going. Now, we're 2 days away from the Kidderminster game, and we started here because I want to talk to you about Jackie Wallace, who is saying he's not getting enough game time and wants to leave the club, wants to terminate his loan. Now, I'm a bit confused about this, because Jackie Wallace has played 15 games, all right? 10 starts, 5 substitute appearances, which, isn't that many, but his contract is rotation, so I'm not quite sure what he's complaining about. And at the same time as well, if we click on his, his positives and negatives, The negative is that he's not part of any social group at the club. Like he's just a loner basically. But he is enjoying playing for the club. He seems to like me, and he's content with his training. So I don't know why he wants to leave. And actually, I kind of want to keep him at the club because he is a useful player, in that rotation system. So, sorry, Jackie Wallace, you're going to have to stay at the club. I'd quite like to sign him as well because although he's probably not good enough for our first team to be starting week in, week out, he has got some good potential, and his contract at Northampton ends at the end of the season. So I am kind of tempted to try and sign him at the end of the season on a permanent deal. Anyway, now that's out of the way, we can zoom on into today's fixtures. Before we do that, we should probably actually show you the table. That's probably quite an important part of things as well. We have recovered. We are no longer in danger of dropping out of the playoffs, which is quite nice. We are now sitting second in the table, a good 11 points clear of Brackley in 8th, which is nice, with less than 10 games to go this season as well. We're also only 1 point behind Blythe, who are currently at the top of the table. So we do have a good chance, I think, of retaining first, or getting back to first in the division and winning automatic promotion. I'd love to do it automatically. Playoffs I'm a little bit scared about because I know anything can happen in the playoffs. But at the same time, I would back us in the playoffs. I think we have been the best team this season. Obviously, the table says otherwise at the moment, but I beg to differ. So in keeping with how we've been playing in between episodes, we are going to go for the 4-4-2 today against Kidderminster. Hopefully it's going to be enough as Andrew stays in goal as per usual with that back line of Dale, Walkley, Sanderson and Cook. Keller is going to start on my left instead of Turiat today just because he's played well in the cup games and did score last game as well, so I kind of want to keep his bit of form going. Howell and Hall make it the midfield partnership as you would expect with Griffiths on the right hand side. Agu comes in today as that pressing forward, which, is a bit debatable, but he has scored a few goals in between episodes as well. And of course, Mark Mason, who's now got 25 goals in all competitions, is leading the line. Right then, well, it's time to put the woes of the previous 2 episodes behind us and get some wins under our belts. I do think we've passed that period of bad form. We lost all 4 games so far this week on camera, which is a bit annoying. We've lost a few in between those as well and before that as well. So it wasn't great. Kidderminster have also just picked up a penalty, which Ricky Miller is going to be taking for them. He's a very, very good striker. By all accounts, he's like a really, really top striker and scores his goal there. That's his 28th goal of the season. But from what I've heard in real life, he just has a really seriously bad attitude problem. So can't really hold down a place anywhere other than Dover. He seems to do very well at Dover. They could deal with him, but no one else can, like Peterborough, Mansfield. He's not really doing anything there. Kidderminster, though, he's doing quite well for them. 28 goals in all competitions is pretty decent. They've also got a corner now, which they put in, and Andrew can save. Jed Andrew, decent save that. Kidderminster, by the way, were sitting third in the table. So them beating us today puts them 1 point ahead of us, which isn't too bad. We're still in touching distance with them, and if Blythe don't win as well, that's quite good as well. Kidderminster, though, is the toughest challenge that we've had since in between episode, or since last episode really, or not even last episode, probably since the Luton game. I think all the teams that we've played in between Luton and Kidderminster, we are better than. I know that we're better than sort of thing, and to lose some of them was frustrating, but to win most of them was pretty good. Kidderminster though, I would have had Macclesfield as my team to win this season, but they've been really poor. And judging on the players that they've got at Kidderminster and how they performed last season as well, I would have had them as second. So they're the 2 teams that I think are the ones to beat this season. Not us, obviously. I wouldn't have ever said that about us, but we were, at least for quite a while, the team to beat. Potentially a chance just before half-time for one of these 2 sides. It looks like it's coming towards Kidderminster right now as they play it out wide. The cross comes into the back post, which Cook clears, but only as far as Kidderminster's Smith, who nearly gets fouled on the edge of the area, looking for another penalty. Jones back to Patron back to Jones. Jones, again, they're just passing it around between them, putting it just wide of the post. But Kidderminster are in control at the end of his first half. Where is the passion, lads? Do you even want to win this match? They all look motivated and fired up, which is quite good. Hopefully we'll see a performance in the second half. Goal kick for us then. Hopefully this will lead to an attack, as Jed's ball forward wasn't particularly good, I've got to say, and Kidderminster can just retain it at the back and try and build something as they come forward steadily. Playing it around quite nicely, just keeping us away from it basically. We do sit quite deep with this 4-4-2, I've got to say. Obviously, we try and play more of a counter-attack with this formation, as it doesn't seem to be working today, although Sanderson doesn't clear it very far, and they've nearly scored another one. So, I mean, we need to work on launching counter-attacks a little better in this game. Free kick for the Kidderminster goalkeeper then. He puts it up towards Ricky Miller, who doesn't win it, and we retain possession at the back. If we can just build forward now with some confidence, I'd fully back us to score some goals. Howell puts it into Mason, who's in behind the defence, and for his 29th goal of the season, I thought he was only on 25, his 29th goal of the season, better than old Ricky Miller. He puts us back on level terms with Kidderminster, and just like that, it's anyone's game again. Throw in for Kidderminster though, they're still coming forward looking for another goal, which they get through Ben Patron as he puts his header into the back of the net. We're going to encourage the boys out there. We need to encourage them to play a little better. We're going to make some changes as well. We're going to bring Turner on for Agu, who has not played well today really, and Joseph Hall's not played very well either, so Pollock's going to come on for him. They're the two changes that we'll make for now, at least. Kidderminster, though, have been the better side today, I've got to say. And it's a little bit frustrating because we've played so well in between episodes. We've played relatively well today, but we have played well in between episodes. And we could have gone top of the table today if we'd won, which is really frustrating as well. Obviously, Blythe is slipping up somewhere by drawing, but it's going to be exciting come the end of the season. It makes it exciting for the end of the season, at least. So I suppose all my talking saying how good this 4-4-2 is in between episodes and how we're going full Mike Bassett from here on out, we've lost. We do have Scarborough, though, coming up in a couple of days' time, and they are sitting... Where are they sitting? They're sitting down in 16th, so that should be a winnable game. Really winnable game, but then again, we said that about Hyde and Barrow last episode, didn't we? And that didn't end well. What's this about, then? Following our defeat, Sam Cook's agent wants a better contract for his man. So let's just negotiate this quickly. What's he currently on? £170 per appearance. He now wants 200 with a bit more extras. We'll get rid of a new substitute fee straight away. Let's take it down to 180. And he's also a hot prospect. Still hot prospect. Will he accept? You better accept 180, mate. 180 or it's nothing. And, I'm being generous giving you an extra £10. Okay, extra £20. He takes that. I'll keep him at the club. He's a decent player. I like him on that right-hand side. He didn't play very well last game, actually, I've got to say. But I'd like him. He's a good lad. Oh, Scarborough as well. Scarborough just lost. But that's not important. They lost anyway. It doesn't matter. But they're playing on the 17th of March. We play them on the 19th. So they've got 1 day off in between games to recover. So that's very good for us. So to try and prove to you that going full Mike Bassett 4-4-2 is the way to go, and it's been working really well, we're going to stick with it for the game against Scarborough. We are going to bring Turner on for Agu, although he must have played like in between for the under-19s or under-23s or something like that, because he is a bit tired. Doesn't matter too much though, because Scarborough are all going to be tired as well. And I'm also going to bring on Turiak for Keller as well. And we're going to bring Summerskill on for Sanderson at the back. Just to make some changes, keep things a little bit fresh, change things out there. But other than that, team is going to stay the same. And we're going to absolutely thrash Scarborough today. Right then, kickoff is upon us. We're at home today against Scarborough. So, really, this 4-4-2 is a more counter-attacking formation that we're meant to play against better sides. But because it's worked really well recently, it feels wrong to be playing it at home against Scarborough, but if it works, and we use it. Although Scarborough are coming forward, and they still have possession of the ball despite the cross sort of being cleared, and they come forward in the 4th minute of the game, or 3rd minute of the game, looking for an early goal, which they don't get because Dale clears, but only again as far as the Scarborough players. This relentless attack keeps coming forward, and again, the clearance only goes as far as their players, but Andrew does collect the cross. And does this mean now that we are going to go on the counter-attack as Mason doesn't win the header, but Howell does collect it, plays it into Hall, who gets it out to Griffiths on the right-hand side, who's obviously going to have a new contract very soon. Puts it into Mason, who scores his 30th of the season. And Griffiths, to be fair, that was a great cross. Probably deserves a new contract. Corner forward as well, Turiak putting it in the 12th minute, cleared, but only as far as Turn, who plays it out to Howell, who's looking for another goal, his 7th of the season now, putting it in the back of the net. This is what the 4-4-2 has been doing for us recently. It temporarily puts us top of the table, although Blythe aren't playing right now, and Kidderminster must be drawing, I think, if we look out there. In fact, it's only us and Kidderminster playing. So, yeah, Kidderminster drawing to Chorley. Chorley, do us a favour, please. And, of course, we'll have to keep an eye out on results for Blythe later on. But temporarily, top of the table as Hall nearly makes it 3. Whatever happens, promotion, playoffs, not winning playoffs, not getting promoted, next season, I think we need to make the 4-4-2 our primary formation. I don't know if it's worth keeping this 4-4-4-2, but then also having a very attacking 4-4-2 formation as well. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Let me know what you think in the comments. Either way, at half-time as well, Chorley actually beating Kidderminster. So they're doing what we couldn't do, which is a bit annoying. But it does hold Kidderminster at bay and puts us 2 points clear of Kidderminster as things stand. Another chance for us early in this second half from another corner. We've hit the crossbar from it. I think it might have been Summerskill who hit the crossbar there. But a nice little move. 30 goals for Mark Mason. He's verging on the Connor Robinson territory. Now, when we Connor, if you remember back to the first 2-3 seasons when we had Connor Robinson as our striker, he just scored so many goals, and I think we overlooked it at the time. I think we thought, well, I thought at least, we'd be able to find strikers at every level to score loads of goals for us, which hasn't happened. We've not been able to have a striker. This is our 6th season. First 2 we had a good one. In between that, we've had rubbish ones. Mark Mason has finally come good in the first strike to come good for us for a while. We'll have to double check at some point to see if he's closing in on what Connor Robinson was scoring in the first 2 seasons. We are going to make some changes though, because we do have the FA Trophy semi-final coming up at the end of the week, the first leg at least. So Howell is looking tired. He's done well out there. We'll give him a bit of a rest. Turner will... Yeah, I reckon we do take Turner off, actually. He's an important player. We want to keep him relatively rested. And then Jack Wakely as well. He is very important at the back. So they're the 3 subs we'll make. I'd like to take Dom Cook off as well, but he's honestly, he is so good, Dom Cook. Whatever you throw at him, he just powers through it. Right at the end of the game then, Scarborough trying to grab a consolation goal, but they can't. We've won it 2-0 on the day. To be fair, I think we probably should have won it by a few more. I think if we'd maybe switched to a more attacking formation out there once we'd gone 2-0 up, we could have grabbed a few more maybe. But I'd rather just see the game out, make sure we pick up the 3 points, which is important. Kidderminster did lose in the end as well, which is really good. And it means we go temporarily top of the table. I don't know when the other teams are playing. Blythe aren't playing until the weekend, but I think actually it's because we've got the FA Trophy semi-final. And actually Kidderminster are also in the other semi-final. They're doing quite well. They've got Newport County, yeah. So that's why we played early. So next episode then, we'll see what happens with the league. So tomorrow's episode is going to be a 3-game special. Torquay, Basford and Torquay. And hopefully we'll be booking ourselves a trip to Wembley. So thank you very much for watching today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have done, make sure you do drop a like on the video for me and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And I'll see you next time for some more Lincoln Loco action.